You see, I have been getting some responses. Somehow, I got a response last night from a revered CEO of a top media company, top media agency in Nigeria, a man I have always respected for the past 17 years. He watched yesterday's edition of our video and he simply told me with a short message that says, well, these will give only temporary relief, but the ultimate is Jesus. Yes, and I have no doubt in my heart that the ultimate is Christ. I don't. But you see, one thing I want people to always know, Christians, Muslims, Jains, Hindus, Buddhists, whatever religion you practice, even if you are animist or Zoroastrian, if you're an atheist, whatever religious faith, whatever mystical organization you belong in, there is only one thing that makes life worth it. It is your being connected with a source. That connection has to be without any intermediary. And if we were to go by the statement of the mystics, like someone like Carl B, he said, when you go to God, if you really want to go to God, you have to go to God with your head on a platter offered to him. What does that mean? It simply means you have to give your all. A mentor of mine, one of my mentors in Nigeria, once said to me, he said, if you are to give your life to Christ, you have to own it first. You cannot give a stolen goods to God. He will not accept it. First of all, your life has to be yours before you hand it over. But a lot of us have a life that isn't ours. The lives belong to society. It is their property, so it's not yours. If you offer it, Christ wouldn't accept a stolen good. You have to earn your life from them, then you can give it to him. How do you do that? That's the purpose of this channel. That is what I am talking about in all of my videos. Okay, it's about you becoming a proper human being. Let us look at it now in an angle I have not really taken it before. Maybe this should have been the preliminary to this channel, but I felt it was going to be too deep. I needed to wet the ground for this to happen. Okay, now when I talk about awareness, today's discussion is going to be on consciousness is awareness. Okay, or you can talk about, yes, conscious awareness. I said in one of the videos that when consciousness, I didn't actually say it, I put it on the graphics. I said when consciousness lights upon a thought, that thought, they're not born aware, you can't survive it. And all we are asking you, anybody that watches this video, is be conscious. Because thoughts and emotions blocks your consciousness. They occlude, according to makeup, they say they occlude your consciousness. When you dwell on thoughts all the time, which is what we all do, we are transported to the past or to the future. Okay, we are always thinking on what people said about us, said to us. We are always, writhing in internal agony. Why? Because things are happening within us. We are living in gloom and doom on the inside, or we are living in false hope on the inside. Therefore, there is nothing that your Christ can collect from you because you block him. Like, I think it was Prophet Jeremiah who said it, that God said, my hands are not too short that I cannot save you. No. My ears are not too dim that I cannot hear you. My eyes are not blind that I cannot see you. But your iniquity have separated you from me. So what we're talking about here is until you do the right thing, as it is said, righteousness exalts a nation and also a person. Until you begin to do the right thing, you cannot attract the powers and the grace of God. Somebody will always say to you, God bless you, God bless us. God has blessed everybody. We are all blessed because we are humans. We are living in many sins, in a lot of light years. But what are we doing? We are dwelling on the curses and the blastings of society, of people, of significant others that we place huge value upon. So we are no longer living our life, but the lives of others. This channel is about you living your life. I'll give you a scripture. In the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1, yes, it opens with a servant. I beseech you, dearly beloved, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. He went further, he said, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. Okay? By the renewing of your mind. This channel is about mental renewal. It's about you renewing your mind. Nothing less than that. And how do you do that? I have said before that your mind is like a computer. Plain and simple. But the computer requires programming to work. It requires programs to work. You have to get an OS onto the computer, you buy programs and apply, install there as applications, and those applications run the whole thing. And with applications, you can create data from the program. Okay? Now, your mind is like that. What programs are running your mind? Mostly, all of the time, they are falsehoods. And what we are saying in this channel, what I am telling you, is that you need to identify these programs for what they are. I said don't fight them, don't wrestle against them, don't accept them, just be aware of them. Now, let me shock you further. When we talk about consciousness, we are referring to you. You are consciousness. Another word for consciousness is spirit. Another word for spirit is love. Okay? You are love, you are spirit, you are consciousness, you are human. And this thing we are talking about is a very powerful entity because you are an offshoot of divinity. Like somebody will say, a ray from the sun is still the sun. When the ray of the sun enters a place, it's lit up. Consider yourself very powerful. What I am simply teaching is that don't travel, stay in the now. What is the now? That as you are sitting here, because when people talk about staying in the moment, it looks very abstract, it looks very woke, and people don't really know what it means. It is oversimplified. What it simply means is that young man, young lady, uncle, daddy, mommy, as you are watching me right now, are you aware of what is going on your inside? There are a multitude of thoughts grappling for your attention. There are a multitude of emotions bubbling, roiling on your inside. What are you doing with them? When you are not conscious of them, they'll run you. Now, there is the awareness is this that I want you to have is that you are consciousness dwelling within a system. You are consciousness dwelling within a system. What is that system? You can call the system the world. You can call it the matrix. You can call it the virtual reality. You can call it the lower universe. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Or 3D reality, 3D space, time continuum, whatever. You see, but what is important is that you are aware that you are dwelling in this space as consciousness, as a powerful, vibrant entity. That's number one. That number two, this virtual reality, this space-time continuum, This world comprises some elements that are very powerful. One of them is mind. The second one is body. The next one is the environment. You see, mind, body, environment. None of these three is you. But these three constitute the system within which you, as soul, as consciousness, as spirit, as love, function. Now, what is your role in it? Your role is to run the system according to your good pleasure. Run the system. So when you are running the system, you can decide at any point that, okay, you know what, I can't run it anymore. I am tired. I can't move beyond this. Then you can have the wherewithal to understand that there is a power that is behind all of creation. That there is power, that there is a power and intelligence that enlivens, animates, powers, drives the entire gamut of creation. And that power can be anything you want to call it. You can call it God, you can call it Jehovah, you can call it Wahiguru, you can call it Allah, you can call it Jehovah. Whatever you want to call it is okay by me. But as long as you know that there is a powerful entity that is the source of existence, driving everything, and that with that power you are safe, that with that power you are home, and that even when you are conscious of the thoughts, of the emotions, of the feelings that are roiling on your inside, you are also conscious that that power is behind you. Okay? That is just how it is. Now, this is it. If you are an atheist, which is a very good way to start, atheism is the best start to spirituality, to humanity, because you are not assuming anything. You are simply saying, because I have no evidence, therefore I believe none. Fantastic. This is where you are different from a religious person. A religious person can never learn because they assume. They accept what has been written, what has been told to them. But experiential knowledge is the key to salvation and redemption. For many years, I have been being prompted to do videos like this. My friends have come to me and so says I will use that time they brought Black Magic camera to my office when I was still on Allen, 2015. They wanted me to 2014. Wanted me to be doing things like this. But I did not. I could not. Why couldn't I? Because all of this knowledge I was acquired, I was learning them then. I was doing courses upon courses on mind. I was learning new things. So I wasn't in a position to teach them because I hadn't experienced. Because you cannot really teach anything about mind except you have experienced it. So you have to be the guinea pig for it. Others have done it by using human beings as tests, but I use myself as the test. I know the years between 2014, let's say 2015 and 2018. People had opinions about me. They thought I was a big man, I was doing well, but I was down and I had suicidal thoughts. Yes, I had suicidal thoughts and I was just hacking myself up, learning, studying these things to see how I can apply. I started applying, and many months I let go. If you go to my Facebook page and trace, you will see them. You will have a sense of my continuum. There were times I was inspired by what I saw, that I would pop things on Facebook like that. Then later I will be downcast and you don't hear from me for a while. Sometimes you saw rage posts because they were manifestations of the stage I was passing through. But I know one thing now, that there is power in the human system. That power cannot be underestimated except by blind faith, just simple religiosity. They will take your attention away from what is real and begin to fill you with fables. And that is when you lose the power of your person. You begin to depend on others to guide you. And when you get to that point, it is disastrous. I don't want you to get to that point. I want you to have absolute faith in your human power, because it works. Because that power itself is powered by divinity. I can go on and on, but one thing I want you to know is this: you are not your mind, you are not your body, you are not your environment. And this consciousness, talking about the system itself, the human system, is what I just started now. I will continue it in subsequent videos. I will talk about each of them, about how the perception as mind, perception of yourself as body, and perception of yourself as environment affects your life outputs. If there's anything we want you to become from this channel, is to be independent in thoughts, in your feelings, that you will be able to, on your own, know what is going on in your system and counteract them with your powers. All you need is to be aware of a bad emotion. Don't talk to it, just be aware of it. Just watch it internally, watch it mentally, be conscious of that emotion and ignore it. Conscious, you see, talking about negation, subtle negation, you are aware of it, but you are not accepting it, but it's a system of negation. It will fizzle it out.